Hello, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Giggity, real name is Mac, and in today's video, we are going to be completely changing it up, just for a video though, don't worry guys, this channel is still going to be a Call of Duty channel. I just want to make that abundantly clear right out of the way. I just wanted to sprinkle in some other first-person shooter video games every once in a while. So today we are going to be ranking all 37 Defender gadgets in Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. I know the first thing people ask themselves when they watch a ranking video in Rainbow Six Siege is, what is this guy's stats? What are his credentials? Is he worthy of talking about these, or is he not? Well, first of all, everybody's worthy of talking about him, even a copper, because it's the internet, man. Let people have fun. They're just trying to have fun ranking them based on what they think, okay? But second of all, I would say I'm personally slightly above average in terms of just overall skill level. I've been playing since Operation Dustline when Blackbeard and Valkyrie came out, but I've only reached Platinum. Plat 3 is my highest rank of all time. However, I did reach Plat in ranked 1.0 as well, so it is it's a little bit better than Plat nowadays. Just want to put that out there. But the only reason why, and I'm gonna be brutally honest, man. I'm gonna be honest with myself. It sucks, but it's the truth. The reason why is because my aim is atrociously bad. I've never had good aim in first-person shooter games. My aim sucks in games, but what that means is that I have to use my smarts when playing video games, which is why I freaking love Rainbow Six Siege so much. Is it's such a tactical game where, yes, you can win matches just by having good aim, sure, but you can also win matches by having horrible aim and having incredible game sense and just utilizing your gadgets as much as possible, which is what I do. I have to do that because I have such bad aim. So yeah, I always use my gadgets, and you can check me, you can stat track me if you want to. My Xbox gamer tag is YT space Giggity. If you want to stat track me, you can go there and see that I have almost 100 rounds played with every single attack operator in the entire game. And yeah, those are my credentials, I guess you could say, all right? Also, I want to make this abundantly clear. I know just the nature of ranking videos like this. There are going to be people that are too unintelligent to listen, but I am only ranking these based off of the primary gadget only. It has literally nothing to do with the rest of their loadout, nothing to do with how they look like, nothing to do with their speed and armor, nothing to do with their secondary gadget, nothing. Just their primary gadget. That is all I'm ranking. This is not my ranking video for like what defenders are actually the best in the game, just what defender gadgets are the best in the game. Because obviously a defender can have a pretty good gadget, but if they're, like, for example, a perfect example of that is Zofia. Zofia on paper is just a better Ashe, but no one plays Zofia. Everyone plays Ashe because her Ashe's gun is so much better and she's a 3-speed. So things like that, you know, it's not actually a ranking video based on how good the defenders are themselves. It's just their gadgets. Either way, song of the day is called The Color Violet by Tory Lanez. It is kind of like a hip-hop slash pop slash rap song all in one. It's really good though. Listen to it at night though. It's like a vibey song. You're not gonna like listen to this like in the daytime when the windows roll down. But without further ado, sorry for wasting 3 whole minutes of your time. Let's get right into it now with number 37, in my opinion, the worst defender gadget in all of Rainbow Six Siege. And yeah, coming in at 37th place, I mean, this is not a surprise to literally anybody, but the worst defender gadget in Rainbow Six Siege is obviously Sentry, because he doesn't have one. He doesn't have a unique ability, a unique gadget. I know someone's going to try and make an argument saying, well, his gadget is that he can have 2 secondary gadgets. No, that's not a gadget. That's just allowing him to have 2 secondary gadgets. It's nothing. Oh, also really quick, I forgot to mention this in the intro. You can see what 36th place is. It's Oryx, and I'll explain that in a second, but I forgot to mention this in the intro. Another reason why I'm only Plat, I know it sounds like an excuse, and people are going to be like, you don't get to talk about this stuff. Another reason why I'm only Plat is because I always just solo queue. I literally, like, pretty much only solo queue. Sometimes I'll play with my little sister, but that's it. Like, I also will play with my friend Quentin, but he's an actual genuine copper. Like, Slim Cream 69 is his name on Xbox. Go look him up. I'm not joking. Either way, 36th place is Oryx. Obviously, his ability is literally that he can run fast. Somebody's gonna try and be like, well, he can climb up hatches. It makes literally, like, when he tries climbing up hatches, it's literally like, bang, 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 here I come, fee, fi, fo, fum. It's the biggest sound cue in the world that never works. Oryx has literally no ability, and then people are gonna be like, well, he can run through walls. He has a bailiff. He doesn't even need to run through walls. Just shoot rotations. Like, what? And 35th place is the first one where I think people are actually going to get like a little bit twisted on me here. But I'm going to be honest, man, as somebody who's been playing since 2016, I have never, this guy doesn't really bother me at all. I never see pros use him or nothing. It's Tubarão. By the way, I'm sorry. I know technically Tubarão is they, them, I believe, based on their pronouns. I don't really keep up to date with the lore, and from what I can see, it looks like a guy. I don't know what they go by. I'm sorry. But either way, yeah, Tubarão's ability is that they can throw like an ice canister on the ground, which can mainly, the 99% of the time people are using it, it's to stop a breach but that just doesn't matter half the time. Most of the time, an attacker, Thermite or Ace, their first objective is to go get the main breach. So yeah, maybe you'll delay it by 30 seconds. Who cares? They still get the main breach open. It's not the end of the world. I forgot to mention this with Tuber but there was one play I saw with Tuber that was really cool. It was when I was playing with my friend Raph like 2 years ago when he like first came out, and we were playing on Chalet Basement, defending on Chalet Basement, and you know that jump out onto the balcony that everybody does on Chalet Basement? Well, he was up there with Tuber but he heard somebody place a Claymore, so he threw a Tuber outside real quick to freeze the Claymore, then jumped out. That was pretty cool, but that's it. 34th place is Aruni, obviously. Yeah, I don't think Aruni's ran, but only because she can punch holes, which is pretty useful, and she has a P10 Roni, and for Zim users on Xbox and everything, she has a DMR as well, so you can just abuse that. If you're a Zim user, by the way, you have to be 5'7", 130 pounds soaking wet. You are like the biggest dork on planet Earth. But nonetheless, Aruni's actual gadget, I mean, dude, it's a gate. You throw a flash into it, throw a smoke into it, throw a frag into it, if you're like 0, you can throw one of your 5 cams into it. Like, there are so many ways to just counter this, and yes, you can turn them back online, but that never really happens, because once you pop the Aruni gate, you usually walk through it afterwards before she has enough time to pop it back on. It's just useless. And on top of that, it can get like some people in trouble sometimes. There have been multiple times where I'm walking up a set of stairs, I see an Aruni gate, and then the Aruni gate turns off, and the second that turns off, I know a defender's about to swing me, so I pre-fire it and kill him. That part shouldn't happen. I feel like the defender should be able to just walk right through it. I know it doesn't make sense realistically, but as we'll see in this video, Rainbow Six Siege threw out the whole realistic idea a long time ago. And obviously, coming in at 33rd place, I feel like most people were going to think that this guy was going to be lower, but realistically speaking, I don't think he's as bad as people give him credit for. At the end of the day, he still does nothing but helps the team. It's Rook. Rook places armor down that gives them a little bit more tankiness, a little bit more health, and the number one thing is that no matter what, as long as you don't shoot them in the head, they go down instead of dying, and when they go down, they have a chance of self-reviving themselves, which is actually a new feature that used to not be the case with Rook. And back in the day, Rook was played all the time, and everybody loved Rook, and I think the reason why was just because everybody was new to the game. Not a lot of people were hitting headshots. Guns back then had a whole lot more recoil, so it was even harder to hit headshots. People were going down a whole lot more, and like I said, everyone was new to the game. They were still experimenting, and it was such a safe bet. It still is in 2025. It's still such a safe bet. Like, yes, if you're starting, Rook doesn't hurt the team in any way whatsoever. His gadget is fine, but it's just like, 99% of the time now, plat and above, it doesn't matter. They hit their headshots. They finish their kills. It doesn't make a difference. And coming in at 32nd place, another operator that I feel like some people were going to say should have been like dead last, but realistically speaking, he's actually, usable now. Tachanka. Yeah, Tachanka used to be absolutely trash. He was super fun and super unique, and I really wish they actually just didn't do the rework, because the rework, while it did make him slightly better, he's still not like meta, he's not used or whatever, and now it's just like kind of a boring operator. And it's like, back in the day, yeah, Tachanka was trash, but at least he was fun and unique and stupid. Now Tachanka, for those who don't know, just shoots fireballs out of a grenade launcher. It takes approximately, I think, 17 and a half years to reload the launcher, by the way, so pretty much you have 5 shots, and it lasts for, I believe it's 17 milliseconds. Yeah, I think the fire lasts for 17 milliseconds. Oh, and the radius of the fire, I think that's about 17, what is it, centimeters maybe? Yeah, it's useless is what I'm trying to say. And here's the time where I'm going to get a lot of hate comments for it, because everybody that plays this operator, that's going to glaze this operator, are also the children that are too unintelligent to remember that we're just ranking it based on gadgets, because 31st place is going to Warden. Obviously, Warden is a really good operator, and people play him quite often, but the reason why is because he has a Nitro Cell, SMG 12, and the best shotgun in the game, period. His gadget, on the other hand, while it is still useful, don't get me wrong, it's extremely selfish, and Jaeger and Wamai do what he wants to do, technically speaking, with their gadgets, just better. That's not me saying I would rather play Jaeger or Wamai over Warden. I would probably rather play Warden over those two. But gadget-wise, specifically gadget-wise, Warden obviously is just weak. He's just weak. Yeah, you can see through smokes. You can see through flashbangs. Who cares? The rest of your team can't. With Jaeger, he destroys those. He gets them out of there. Coming in at 30th place is an operator where, oh my god, there's literally just 2 ways where they can make this gadget so much better and actually make her a viable option, but they just refuse to do it for some reason. It's Thunderbird. All you have to do, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege, to make Thunderbird relatively decent, and not even like broken, just relatively okay, is make her gadget bulletproof and make it not be able to heal the enemies. Why can't it heal enemies? That makes no sense. There are so many cases where a defender gadget can't hurt their team. They can't, like, it doesn't affect their teammates or whatever. Like, For example, mute jammers. You could drive a Mozzie drone through a mute jammer or throw a Valk cam right in front of a mute jammer and it doesn't affect it. Why wouldn't Thunderbird put the time and effort into making her gadget, or like a Jaeger thing? If you're a defender and you throw a C4 near a Jaeger ADS, it doesn't shoot the C4 out of the sky. So why doesn't Thunderbirds not heal the enemies? It makes no sense whatsoever. But obviously that's the big downside to Thunderbird. Also, a lot of the times people will place a Thunderbird down, people will get hurt, but they're already too far away in their own little respective gunfights. They're not going to run all the way around the map or to a whole different site just to heal up, just to run back, because then it gives them ground, and it's just, Doc is clearly better. And it only heals for like 40. Coming in at 29th place, God, man, I wish this guy was better. It's Maestro. Maestro, I used to be a Maestro main. I'm not gonna lie. When he like first came out, he had an ACOG on his LMG. He was busted. Brava didn't exist back then. He was nice. He was a nice op. But nowadays, yeah, he's just unfortunately too bad. Also, back in the day, Maestro's cameras actually couldn't get punched either, which was a big thing. But now Maestro's cameras can get punched. And since it's not Valkyrie, since it's not Echo or Mozzie, you can't get your cameras to a spot where where attackers can't get to, because you have to be able to place them down like a bulletproof cam. And so it's honestly just as good as a bulletproof cam. This guy's ability is literally pretty much, I have 3 bulletproof cameras, which on paper sounds good, but bulletproof cameras freaking suck 9 times out of 10. They're really not that great, and the Maestro's is not great. On top of that, every time I see somebody play a Maestro, either if they're on the enemy team, my team will just run a Brava, or if they're on my team, the enemy team just runs a Brava, and it's extremely easy to, now they have free cams. It's by far the worst intel op, I think. 28th place, they nerfed this girl into the freaking ground. When she was first released, oh my god, she was literally so frustrating to play against. People were banning her when she was first released because of how annoying she was to play against. But nowadays, she's just like forgotten about. Solus, whatever. Solus, god, man. Them taking away her ability to turn on her Solus scanner during the prep phase just destroyed this operator, because nobody ever remembers to do it now. And the only thing that she's useful for now is like plant denial. But let's be real, there are significantly better operators to do that, like a lot of better operators for plant denial now. Solus was always just like kind of an okay option because she had impacts, but then they took away her freaking impacts too. Solus is now just, god, she's just not great enough. Like her ability, yes, it can spot drones, but you never really even remember to do that. Coming in at 27th place, I believe this operator has one of the highest skill ceilings in all of Rainbow Six Siege. But even at like the top professional levels, I still don't think she's that much better. But on average, around, again, like I would say around like the plat gold area where I'm at, I would say Scopos is a 27th place operator. I think she's below average for sure. Scopos has a drone that goes off site. It's a clone of her that she can transport into whenever she wants to. Mainly, the number one purpose for her is for flanking, obviously. She's a flanking, sort of, I guess you could say, roaming operator, which is obviously pretty good. And I have seen some absolutely disgusting plays by the likes of, like, Macy J and stuff like that. I myself even did a really good play one time with her. I'm not going to describe it because it's just too long, but I did a really good play. I loved that play that I did with her. But 9 times out of 10... if you die to her gadgets completely, you have a cam that's like all the way downstairs, and they'll break your camera, and then you'll transport into it, and there's a claymore in front of you and you die. Like it's a freaking sick operator. I'm happy she exists, and I've seen some awesome plays with her, like I said, and the way the gadget works is so unique to anything else in the game, but it's really not that great. Coming in at 26th place, and in my opinion, the worst of the defender gadgets, just gadgets again, guys. I guess unless you count Aruni as a defender. Oh, I just said the worst of the defender guy. I meant to say defender trap operators. My bad. The worst of the defender trap operators, unless you count Aruni as a trap op. I count her as like anti-entry though. But either way, it's Ella. Yeah, Ella's. Every single time I've ever in my entire life seen somebody walk into an Ella, all they do is just walk back out of the door that they just walked into, wait for the effects to go off, and then walk back in. It takes like 5 seconds. It's just a slight inconvenience. It never actually like makes a big difference. When it does make a big difference, is it good? Sure, but like when it makes a big difference, would you rather have your Ella mine make the big difference or your Capcan trap make the big difference? One makes it so that she's pretty much blind and disoriented. The other one kills the guy for you. Like I just think Ella is such a weak trap op. I mean, she only has 3 of them. The best way to play her though, a lot of people don't know this, keep one in your pocket. It's really good for shields, okay? For shields, it literally completely denies shields. And so if a shield's running at you, throw it on the ground or something, throw it wherever, it doesn't matter. He's a shield player, he's unintelligent, so he's just going to keep running at you. And so just throw it at the ground or whatever, it'll get stunned and you can kill him immediately. That's the only time I've ever seen Ella really like be useful though. But coming in at 25th place, I don't know why they nerfed this operator. She did not need to be nerfed in the slightest bit. It is the second worst trap operator in the game for me, Frost. Oh boy, Frost has always had that really unique, like no other operator in the game that's like this, where it's at the lower ranks, copper and bronze, they fall for frost traps all the time. Then when you get to silver, gold, and plat, they don't fall for them at all. But then once you get to the higher ranks like emerald, diamond, and champ, they start to fall for them again. And it's such a unique operator in that sense, because once they get to that ranks, they pretty much, like, no one really plays her. She's not that common because everybody's used to looking at it when you're in gold and plat. So they stop looking for it. They stop caring about Frost. They stop even thinking about her as an operator until they fall victim to it, which is really cool. It's just a fun fact. That's all I should mention. But Frost mats are just, I mean, so freaking obvious. There's only one place they can be, and that's on the ground. And you're just look on the ground, like, and they're freaking huge. And then on top of that, why did they nerf her to the point where people can revive themselves now? That was the dumbest, most pointless nerf of all time. Just make it so that the people that go into a Frost mat are downed until they get revived by a teammate. That is fair. Like, trust me, Ubisoft, Frost was not broken before. Coming in at 24th place, another Intel op, and pretty cool one. I love her. I love playing this operator because her setup is nice. She has a bailiff and an incredible gun. But gadgets alone, I don't think the gadget's that great. It's Alibi. Alibi, for those who don't know, just throws down 3 clones of herself. They're like little projections, and if the enemy shoot the projection, it spots where they are for the next, like, I think 10 seconds or so for the entire team, which is pretty cool. But there are a lot of operators that just do that better. Cams just do that better. The good part of Alibis is it's a passive effect. You know, nobody has to sit on the cams and see it. But the bad part about it is nobody really falls for it anymore. Very, very, very rarely do I get somebody shooting my alibi thing. The best way of doing it, though, isn't putting it in spots where you think they're going to fall for it. It's just putting it in spots where you know they're going to have to shoot anyways, and that way they're going to have to shoot through it if they want to kill somebody, which will spot them. That's the best way of doing it. Coming in at 23rd place is an operator that, again, is going to make a lot of the children mad here because his setup is absolutely disgusting. Arguably the best defender setup right now. SMG 12, Boss G, and impact grenades, like, oh my god. And then on top of all of that, if you don't change his uniform, he's like the hardest operator in the entire game to see, because he's just pitch black running around the map. It's Vigil, obviously, but his gadget, like not being able to be seen by drones, sounds broken at first until you realize the little white static is just so, the radius of that is way too high. And yes, you don't know exactly where he is, but you know relatively where he is if you're on a drone and he's got that white static on. On top of that, I've seen people play this guy wrong so many times. The second they see a drone or hear a drone, they turn his gadget on, and that is dumb. Wait until they see you, because you're going to reposition anyways. You're not going to sit where you were because they know you're somewhere around there, so you're going to reposition anyways. And so just wait until they see you. Maybe you can get away with them not seeing you. If they do see you, okay, now turn it on and then run away. Nobody does that, though. And everybody, the second they hear a drone, they're like, turn it on, and then you're just like, oh wait, I didn't even think there was somebody down here. Now I know, though. Like, Vigil, he's got a really decent freaking gadget, but people just play him wrong, and it's really not like a make or break gadget either. It's also extremely selfish too, and if you get killed, your gadget's useless. So 22nd place is obviously a lot higher than most of you guys probably thought she was going to be, because 22nd place is going to Thorn. Yeah, I think Thorn is a little bit underrated, or not underrated, but I should say overhated. That's a better way of putting it, because I do understand the complaints that people say. Her gadget you don't fall for her gadget. Nobody really dies by a Thorn trap anymore. It just doesn't happen. The Razor Bloom shells or whatever they're called, it just doesn't happen, because they make like the loudest noise ever and give you an icon on the screen to start running away, right? But a lot of people, I think people play her wrong. This is the best way of doing it. She has barbed wire. Put them on windows that they're going to jump in from, but make sure the floor below you is wooden and you can shoot through it. If you can shoot through it, put a barbed wire on that window, and then at the front of the barbed wire, shoot through the floor, but don't shoot through both layers. You know, there's 2 layers in Rainbow Six Siege on floors. Shoot through the first layer and throw the thorn trap in front of the barbed wire right there. When they jump in the window, it's going to trigger the thorn trap. They're going to instinctively run forward or to the side or whatever it may be, but they're going to start running. They're going to be trapped in the barbed wire. They're not going to make it that far. By the time it goes off, they actually might get killed by it, or at least injured by it, or hurt by it, or something. People don't play her correctly, but even if they did play her correctly, I don't think she'd be much higher. I just do think people overhate her, though. She's really good for freaking intel too. It makes an extremely loud noise, and it gets them out of comfort positions. That's something we're gonna mention later on with another operator. But getting, like, people jumping into a window, they're already a little bit scared, but now when they have to run 5 feet forward, that makes them a whole lot more scared. I think Thorn is overhated. Coming in at 21st place is an operator that I think I have the least amount of rounds played on her, because I freaking hate playing as her, but it's Clash. Yeah, Clash, for those who don't know, has an electrifying shield. people, wow, the amount of people that play Clash horribly wrong is insane. Like, like you should be last alive if you're Clash. You need to protect your teammates if you're Clash. Always go where the action is if you're Clash. People don't do that. It is ridiculous the way people play Clash. But either way, if you play her correctly, she actually is a pretty strong op, and it can be hard. Like, people are like, oh, she's so easy to counter. She's easy to counter because you're playing against bots, dude. All right, if you have an actual good Clash player, no, she is not easy to counter. Every time I play Clash, Nomad, I know you're gonna be like, Nomad. I never fall for a Nomad trap. You stay far away. If you know there are people there, you don't go right up to them because they're gonna knife your shield anyways. You stay far away. Then they shoot the Nomad. Okay, start walking back into sight. Start walking back before that Nomad preps, and then now you just can't go in that area. Sure, she cut off an area for you, but you're not flung back. You're not dead. Clash is pretty good, better than people give her credit for. And breaking its way into the top 20 is going to be going to Mozzie. Mozzie, on paper, is one of the best operators in the game, period. It gets rid of attacker gadgets, or attacker utility, I guess you could say, while also giving you a massive amount of intel, and really good intel as well, which is literally just cameras. On top of all that, they're probably the hardest gadget to see, because a lot of players, when they see a drone as an attacker, they just think it's a friendly drone. They don't ping it to see if it's an enemy drone or not, and they'll never shoot that thing. It'll just sit there looking at you forever, and if you don't red ping, you'll have a pretty much an invisible camera the entire game. But the sad truth is, 9 times out of 10, when you're Mozzie, you get 1 drone. You don't actually get 3. And at that point, he's not that great. You have 1 extra camera, and yes, again, that camera probably is never going to be destroyed. It'll probably be there for the whole round, and it will be giving you intel throughout the entire game. But chances are you're only getting 1 of them. And if you do get 2 of them, 9 times out of 10, when somebody gets 2 of them, I never see them place a second drone. Every time I like die, and then I'm like, okay, well, we have a Mozzie. Let me check his drones. One of them is in a really good spot. The other one's just sitting where it got caught, and he never moved it for some reason. Coming in at 19th place, however, is going to an operator that used to be nasty when he had a 1.5x, not mentioning his gadget, but used to be nasty when he had a 1.5x, but now is not the best in my opinion. It's Wamai. Wamai captures defender throwables. The main things that he wants to capture are things like Ash charges, things like Ace charges, Habanas, Yings. And so obviously, I'm just going to spoil it. Actually, you know what? We'll just go talk about the next one right now. Because 18th place is Jaeger. I think 18th, Jaeger and Wamai are literally very interchangeable. It really depends on the site, what they're running, what you're doing, etc., etc. And it also heavily depends on you as a player. Are you an aggressive player? If you're an aggressive player, do not run Wamai, because his gadget relies on you staying alive. If you can't stay alive, he's by far worse than Jaeger in every single way, and it's not even close. But if you can stay alive, he's arguably probably better. The only downside to Wamai is he captures the projectiles and they still go off. There have been multiple times where I've seen somebody throw it on like the border door, and somebody throws a grenade in there to try and break a Cade or a bandit, and it captures a grenade, but it still blows up and still blows up the Cade or the bandit anyways, and so it really didn't do its job. Sure, it captured it, but it didn't do anything. Jaeger's just completely destroys them all out. On top of that, Jaeger's can recharge. Sure, it takes a little bit of time to recharge, but it can recharge. But the big upside to Wamai over Jaeger is that he obviously has like 8 of them if you stay alive, and you can throw them like out of the sight and catch people off guard if that's what you're trying to do, and get rid of Ace charges on main breaches, Ashes, and things like that for the Miras, things like that. They're both obviously really good and both pretty decent operators to run no matter what, but I think Jaeger is a slightly better one in the grand scheme of things. But again, it really depends on who you are. These could be switched around any day, and I really wouldn't argue it too much. 17th place had potential to be the best operator in the game, obviously because of their gadget literally breaking the round if it goes off, but most of the time it doesn't, so it's Caveira. Caveira is, again, obviously probably in the lower ranks, disgustingly broken, but there's a reason why you literally never see her played ever in pro leagues or anything like that. They're good at roam clearing, and they'll find Caveira, and now Caveira's gadget is just useless. If she can get an interrogation off, it literally makes or breaks the entire round. You will win the round if she gets an interrogation off 9 times out of 10. It is, if that happens, it is automatically the best gadget in the game, period. Not even just for defenders, just overall. But if she doesn't get an interrogation off, which is the common outcome of playing Caveira, then unfortunately she's kind of just useless, just a roaming operator that's really, really quiet. Now, being able to roam and make literally no noise as Caveira is still good, don't get me wrong. The silent step ability is also very, very strong. But the obvious one, the whole reason why you want the silent step ability is so you can flank and get your interrogations off, which is very hard to do. There's also a lot of times, obviously you guys have seen it probably, where Caveira goes up to interrogate somebody and just dies anyways, and then it's like, okay, now she's useless. 16th place, I think, had a hell of a fall from grace, dude. Back in the day, this guy was played on every map, every site, no matter what. It is Smoke. But he has just been outclassed. He is just worse, in my opinion, in every single way, I'm sorry, than Goyo's ability. Smoke's ability can hurt your teammates. First of all, he only has 3 of them. He's the only one that can activate them. And he has to throw them separately. He can't throw like all 3 on different doors. Like, a good way to buff Smoke and make him like on the same level as Goyo is allow him to throw all 3 of his abilities and then trigger them almost like what Fenrir does. Like if he can hold like square on them, like they're a gadget, and then he can like trigger that one when he wants to, trigger this one when he wants to. That would be a good way of like making it so that he's on the same level as Goyo in terms of abilities. Now in terms of actually playing him, yes, Smoke does have a shotgun, his SMG 11. That's a very good combo too, and he has like beepers too, which is pretty good, I think. But I think ability wise, Goyo is just, I mean, obviously better. Coming in at 15th place is the opposite of Smoke. It has a hell of a rise. Like back in the day, everyone was playing Smoke, but nobody really played Castle. Castle was never really like one of the most forgettable operators when the game like first came out for year 1 and year 2, I would say. But nowadays he's ran quite often. And to be fair, part of that is because he does have an ACOG now, but his gadget is actually freaking strong. And I think the reason why it got so much stronger over time, even though there's far more operators now, is because the amount of people that run breaching charges has dropped significantly. Back in the day, everyone thought like getting every soft breach open possible was a massive deal. And on top of that, defenders didn't really know or didn't really realize how important it was to reinforce walls. So a lot of times they were soft. And so breaching everything, and they would also just sit in sight and just like, it was also secure areas, stuff like that. So breaching everything was really important. So pretty much everybody's secondary gadget was a breaching charge back in the day. Nowadays, everyone's secondary gadgets are things like flashbangs, claymores, even smoke sometimes, impact EMPs. Not that many people run breaching charge as their secondaries, and so there's a lot of times now where Castle becomes nasty because people just don't have a way to deal with them, and it's actually pretty good. Coming in at 14th place, gadget-wise, I don't think is disgusting. I think his whole setup is absolutely freaking overpowered, and he's easily probably one of my, easily top 5 favorite defender operators in the game, don't get me wrong, but just gadget-wise, I don't think he's top 5. It's Lesion. Lesion, obviously, is just like Wamai, relies on you staying alive and being a smart player, and utilizing all your Lesion traps. When they go off, they're both really good for intel, just like Thorns, and they also do damage the enemy while also slowing them down. Pretty much effectively making it so that they cannot make that push anymore. You can adjust to that noise and know that they are coming. There's no sneaking around, is what I should say, when it comes to Lesion. If Lesion's on the board, you can't sneak in through a door or something because he'll know and he can reposition. Really good, obviously. The only downside is it only does 5 damage. It's not a trap that's going to kill operators. They're very easy to see and just shoot, and then on top of all of that, he has to wait until they recharge, which can be a big problem as well. Like 13th place, on the other hand, I think technically the gadget is just a little bit better. Melusi. Melusi's can't be destroyed. Obviously, that's a big thing. And she has 3 of them. Actually, she might even have 4 of them. I don't know. I don't remember the last time I played Melusi. I think she actually does have 4 of them. Actually, yeah, I'm pretty dang sure she does. They're bulletproof traps, and when you walk into the radius of them, it massively slows you down and emits a ridiculously loud noise. Like easily a really good intel op. It doesn't do any damage to her, sure, but it does a lot of noise. On top of that, if you're actually smart and play Melusi the correct way, you know not to just place them in default areas. Place them areas where if they want to destroy it when they get into it, they have to look away from where you or your teammates are probably going to be. That way, when they shoot it, you know you can swing it now, and they're not going to be ready, they're not going to be prepped, they're not going to have their crosshairs aimed at your head, and you'll probably win that gunfight. Melusi's a lot better than people give her credit for if you know how to freaking play the game. She's disgusting. Now, again, I would rather play Lesion than Melusi just because of its loadout. Having a pocket shotgun, having the T5 SMG is disgusting, but Melusi is a really good op. And coming out of 12th place is an operator that nobody really plays anymore. I don't really know why nobody really plays him anymore, if I'm being honest, but gadget-wise, it's really disgusting still. Echo. Now, they have nerfed Echo into the ground back in the day, dude. Oh my god. Back in the day, Echo was ran every round. It wasn't even, like, there was no competition. It was Echo, and that was like, you know how nowadays it's Doc and Goyo every single round? Well, that was Echo back in the day. Like, he was ran every single freaking round. And nowadays, they nerfed him by making it so that his gadgets are no longer invisible and they make actual noise, which is a little bit of a downside. And on top of that, it takes a lot longer for him to recharge shots with it, but he's still freaking good. This is what I mean by, like, Ela is just not the best trap op in the game, in my opinion, because Ela has 4 or 3, my bad, of what this guy does infinitely. You know what I mean? Like, it's just better, and she doesn't have to put herself in risky situations to deny plants by, like, throwing an Ela mine on the ground or something, whereas this guy just drives his drone over, flashes them. Obviously, that's the main thing that people want to do with Ela, is deny plants. It is nasty. Also, in today's day and age, where a lot of people do the coordinated pushes where they, you know, ying, gridlock, smoke off, and then they turtle plant with Montaigne in a certain spot, one of the only operators that can deny that and safely deny that is still Echo. Echo is good. You know another operator that can deny that, though? 11th place. I don't know how they're ever going to make this guy bad. He's been broken since the game came out. His ability is just always good. Pulse. Pulse is, yeah. I mean, he's just, Pulse is Pulse, man. Back in the, oh my, do you guys remember, I don't know if anybody remembers this, but remember back in the day when Pulse would have this thing where if instead of pressing R1 or RB or whatever it is, whatever key it is to use a gadget on keyboard or mouse, instead of pressing that, if you pressed Y, it would immediately put it away and switch to your weapon. Do you remember that and how broken it was back then? Luckily, they changed that. But either way, Pulse's gadget obviously is still disgusting. Play below, and you just win the game. It's just that simple. If you don't get a C4 kill with Pulse, I feel like you probably need to go back to the drawing board. I mean, he's just disgusting. His gadget is really, really freaking good. Rest of his loadout, honestly, not that great, but his gadget's really good. Then coming in at 10th place, obviously he's going to be up here in the top 10. But the reason why he's not any higher is because I obviously think the other one's better. It's Cade. Cade has 2 charges that can, yes, admittedly do hatches and 2 of the walls, but on paper he can electrify more walls than Bandit can, and that's obviously the other his main competition here is Bandit. Obviously, I think Bandit is better in terms of gadgets alone, but realistically speaking, that never ends up happening. And the biggest reason why Bandit is so good, and we'll obviously talk about it more when we get to Bandit, is because of Bandit tricking. Bandit tricking once you get to higher ranks and they actually know how to do Bandit tricking, I mean, it's just so busted. It is so good. It's such a good thing to do, and you really can't do that with Cade. You can try, but it's 90% of the time it's not going to work. And on top of all of that, man, Cades are like, yeah, Bandits are obviously easier to see because they have to place them on the ground, but Cades are 9 times out of 10 significantly easy to, like, very, very easy to find, and they don't watch them. Like, Bandits, there's a Bandit tricking, like I said, and so he'll watch it. If a Twitch drone comes in to destroy it, he'll destroy the Twitch drone. That doesn't really happen ever with Cade, I feel like, and so it's just, you just get rid of them. By the way, I forgot to mention this, but we've been at that part of the list since literally probably Ella, where like every single operator that from here on out at least does something for the team and is at least like beneficial. Like, I'm not mad if anybody plays, like, for example, Mazi or Thorn. Like, I'm not mad if they play them. You know what I'm saying? But now we're at the part where in the top 10 here, where it's like, yeah, these guys, if you like, these arguably are like top 5. Like, this is what you want on your team. 9th place is Doc. I mean, okay, I know like the actual genuine champions are going to be like, Doc isn't really used that much in champ because we hit our headshots. Fair enough. You have a good point. That is fair. But in every other rank, they don't. And so I know for the champs, for the pros, that Doc probably doesn't belong in the top 10s. But every other rank he does. I mean, this dude can heal you from 1 health to 140 health with 1 little stim shot, and he's got 3 of them. He can instantly revive himself, instantly revive you, all the way back up to full health. He is, oh my god. And then not to mention his obvious freaking bonus of his setup, having an ACOG, having a bailiff, very good setup as well. But his ability, yeah, it's disgusting. And coming in at 8th place is, in my opinion, the 2nd best trap operator in the game, but honestly kind of the 1st best, because the other trap op that we still have yet to talk about, I'll just spoil it for you guys, but it's Fenrir. He's also he's more like anti-entry, I would say, rather than just a trap op. But either way, 8th place is Capcan. Yeah, there's a reason why people ban Capcan. The Capcan is one of those ops where it's like, no matter how good you get, you can still fall for a Capcan, because the fun part about Capcan is, like, the higher you go in the ranks, you would expect the players in, like, Champion, Diamond, whatever, to, like, expect Capcans more. And you are right. But at the same time, the higher you go in the ranks, the players get smarter and more creative with their Capcans, and they fall for them more. It's freaking awesome. I love Capcan as an operator, and it can make or break rounds. It's one of those ops that I like to play a lot because, like I said, I have horrible aim, and so I can rely on him getting me kills. As a matter of fact, if you look at my R6 tracker and look at my account, I believe Capcan I have a 1.6 KD with him, I believe. He is my highest KD defender in the game. He is, because how isn't he? He is so nasty, and I cannot stand when I'm like in a gold lobby or whatever and I see people just putting them on site doors. Stop putting them on site doors. Put them on, yes, you're like, obviously there's more traffic that's more likely to go through that door, but they're also much more likely to check that door. Put them on doors, like if you're, for example, if you're downstairs and you know they're going to go upstairs to try and get hatches, put them on a door upstairs. They're not expecting that, and they'll fall for it 10 times over, falling for a site door. It is just, God, he's such a good op. Oh, also, the only people that, like, I know somebody's gonna be like, Capcan's so annoying to play against. The only people that get annoyed by playing against Capcan are the ones that are literally just run and gun, think Rainbow Six Siege is Call of Duty. Don't change in Rainbow Six Siege. If you change Capcan, you are literally just trying to make your game into Call of Duty. It's a tactical shooter. Take it slow, you children. 7th place is Mira. Her gadget's busted. Her gadget on Mira, obviously, like, deserves 1st place on certain sites, but that's exactly the problem with her, is that there are sites where Mira is not useful in the slightest bit whatsoever, and that's like, there's no point point in playing her at all. And the rest of the operators in the top 10, no matter what site you're playing on, it makes sense to play them. So yeah, Mira, I don't want to put her in first place. Now, to be fair, on the sites that she's good on, she's not just good on, she's incredible on. And 9 times out of 10, for example, Basement Bank, your number one job on Basement Bank is to protect that freaking Mira. Run with Mai, run Jaeger. There are certain sites like Coastline, Kitchen, like there are so many sites where Mira is literally like a must-have op. And coming in at 6th place, Intel is key in Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. This is the best one to deny. Oh my god, I just choked. Deny the attackers. Intel, it's Mute. Yes, Mute can pretty much just shut up drones. That's pretty much his main ability, and it does it very, very effectively. On top of that, he also can double back as somebody that can deny wall, like be a wall denial operator. Now, it's not his main concern, and if you have a bandit, don't worry about it. But if you absolutely have to, and you have like an extra mute charge, put it on the main breach. It can stop it for a little while. You know, it's not going to do it for the whole round. You can't like mute trick or anything like that. But it can double back as that. But on top of all of that, something that people massively underrate about Mute, he can freaking stop Dokaibi calls, Lion scans, Deimos scans, Jackal scans, any sort of like electrical ability that an attacker has. This guy can stop it. He's freaking nasty. But now we are into the top 5. So the 5 ops that are still left to go are, in my opinion, if I could have a perfect team on the majority of sites. Again, obviously certain sites I'd probably swap one of these guys out with Mira. It depends on what site we're playing. If we're playing a basement site, obviously Bandit is still to come. I'd swap Bandit out for Cade. But 9 times out of 10, these are the ops that if I could have a perfect 5-man stack, these are who I'd want. 5th place is going to be going to Goyo, at least for his ability, because his ability is, in my opinion, the best anti-entry ability in the entire game, not to mention his absolutely insane setup. I know it's just a gadget ranking video, but I have to mention the fact that they gave a freaking Vector and ACOG, and he has impacts. What the hell were they thinking? The gadget itself, though, is disgusting. Like I was saying earlier with Smoke, how can Smoke compete when this guy does exactly what he does, but he has 4 of them? He can place them all at once, and your teammates can use them too. If Smoke dies, he's useless. If Goyo dies, he's still not useless. Your teammates can still use those and prevent them from getting in. And on top of that, the Goyo fire lasts for 25 seconds and does a ridiculous amount of damage. You can't really run through it. Goyo's ability is freaking disgusting. Goyo as an operator right now is disgusting, but his ability in particular is nasty. And coming in at 4th place is, in my opinion, the trap operator that I would want on my team. But again, obviously, guys, it depends on certain situations. If you're a really well-coordinated team, then maybe not Fenrir. Maybe I'd switch it out for Capcan, because Fenrir is obviously 4th place, and he's, like I said earlier when talking about Capcan, I think he's more anti-entry than he is a trap op. Technically, yes, he is a trap op, but most of the time what's going to happen is things just like Ella, things just like Thorn, things just like, what was the other one I was talking about? Damn, what was the other one I was talking about? Freaking, oh, Legions, where they're going to walk into the trap, and instead of walking in trying to be all sneaky, they now have to back out and deal with the problem. That is Fenrir. If they walk in and get Fenrir gassed, they're going to walk out and have to deal with the Fenrir problem. But now you know they're there. Most of your team does, and it's massive intel. On top of all of that, if you get caught in a Fenrir gas, you are screwed. I mean, it is just disgusting. You are so cooked. There is nothing you can do. You can start praying, start shooting into to spots that you might think they might swing you on and stuff like that, but that's about it. On top of all of that, by the way, I forgot to mention this, but yeah, he has 4 of them. Okay, and I know you can only activate 2 at a time. That's enough. Either way, coming in at 3rd place is Azami. I hate Azami playing her because I am not smart enough to play her correctly. I don't know the best Azami setups. There have been times where I throw an Azami down and my teammates do everything short of team kill me because they're like, that is the worst Azami I've ever seen. It did nothing but cost me the round. There have been other times too where that's happened to me where I'm like, who put this Azami here? This just cost us the round. Azami is easily, in my opinion, the highest skill ceiling defender in the game. Not even close. There's literally none that even comes close. But once you master Azami, once you learn every single, like when you play Rainbow Six Siege, you gotta learn every map. You gotta learn every site. That's great. Now you got all that down. But when you play Azami, you have to learn it all over again, man. It is ridiculous. The skill ceiling is insane. If you're a good Azami player, thank you so much, because I never play her, but I know she's freaking disgusting. She can literally just change the entire objective. There are certain places, like Clubhouse Rafters, for example. Back in the day before Azami existed, defenders did not go up there. That was no man's land. Now that Azami exists, that's a power position for him. It's insane what Azami can do to the sites. But coming in at 2nd place, yeah, here he is. I feel like most people are expecting him to come right after Cade, but no, I think he's the 2nd best defender in the game. It's Bandit. Bandit's gadget is, I mean, it's a must-have. It's literally a must-have. The fact that more people ban Cade than they do Bandit, like, I always see people banning Cade over Bandit, is insane to me. I don't get that. Like, I don't, again, I understand, like, yes, Cade can theoretically technically speaking, electrify more walls if he throws them in correct positions and stuff like that, and they're also theoretically harder to see as well. But bandit can bandit trick. Like, people are underestimating the power of bandit tricking. A good bandit tricker, like somebody that actually knows how to do it. I'm not talking about your buddy who's in gold 5 and has successfully done it maybe 40% of the time. No, a bandit tricker that gets it done like 80% of the time literally just changed the entire outcome of that game. If you can't get main breach open, you have, like, I would say like a 20% less chance of winning that match now. And bandit is the best way to deny that. He's easily the best hard breach wall denial guy in the game. But obviously that means that first place, and in my opinion the best defender gadget in Rainbow Six Siege, is Valkyrie. Valkyrie is disgusting. Intel is key in Rainbow Six Siege, and she has 3 cameras that she can throw wherever she wants and are almost impossible to see until you go on them. The only direct counter to Valkyrie is IQ, but let's face it, it's 2025. Not a lot of people play IQ. The only way that they do play IQ is if they see that you're a Valkyrie, actually. And if they see that you're a Valkyrie, they might play IQ, and then you're kind of screwed. But there's a reason, like, if I have a friend, his name is Dylan. I played with him a couple times here and there, but he's Diamond. He's Diamond 1 is his peak rank. He has like 3 accounts. Beastly Karma 31 is one of them. Funk Miller 223, and then like Dr. Jekyll X_X or something. He's all on PlayStation, by the way, so if you want to stat track him, you can go check him out. I'm not lying. But yeah, he's a Diamond 1 player. He's incredible. And whenever I've played with him, I play against obviously Diamond 1s and champs. I do horrible. But every time I play against them, there's a reason why the first op they ban for defenders is Valkyrie, because Valkyrie is disgusting. Yes, I know gold players and silver players and bronze players watching this video are going to be like, what, dude? Valkyrie doesn't really matter because you don't check your cams. But in the higher ranks, it matters a lot checking cams constantly, and Valkyrie is easily the best one for that. I know on paper, Mozzie kind of does the same thing, right? No, because first of all, you can't throw Mozzie's drones wherever you want to throw them, and that's also if he manages to get all 3, which he won't. He'll only get 1 or maybe 2 maximum. Valkyrie has 3 from the get-go. She can hide them in extremely easy places to hide because she can throw it. I mean, Valkyrie's just disgusting, and not even to mention the fact that she has a C4 too to work with. Like, Valkyrie is easily the best defender gadget in the game. But ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of today's video, ranking all 37 defender gadgets in Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege from worst to best. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see in the comment section down below. Check the links in the description for any of my other social medias or any of my other YouTube channels or any of that great mumbo jumbo. I will be leaving a comment down below with my new YouTube channel that I will be using to upload any sort of gameplay videos that aren't Call of Duty or now Rainbow Six Siege related in the future. And again, I want to make this abundantly clear for all my Call of Duty fans. Obviously, every one of you guys that are subscribed to my channel are subscribed because I made Call of Duty videos. Call of Duty is going absolutely nowhere. If you think it is, you're a dummy, okay? At most, the most amount of like non-Call of Duty videos we're going to end up making is maybe like 1 not Call of Duty video per week, maybe, and even that I think is probably not going to happen. It might be like 1 non-COD video per every 2 weeks on the channel. This is a first-person shooter channel though, and I do love, dude, Rainbow Six Siege is easily my most played video game of all time, period. I have around 40 days played on my Xbox, and then around like 60 days played on my PlayStation. I used to play it a lot when it first came out. So I have around 100 days total played. I have a whole third of a year played on Rainbow Six Siege. I am level 225 on my Xbox and level 270, I think, or something like that. Now with a new change where they like updated the levels, I think it's around 270 on my PlayStation. Which, yeah, I mean, I love this game. I want to talk about it. I've been playing it for freaking years, man. I've been playing it for literally 9 years now. I didn't play it in 2015. I started playing it in 2016, but I've been playing it for 9 freaking years, man. Like, I want to talk about it, okay? And this is a channel that's around first-person shooter content. I don't want to make a whole new channel just to make like 2 Rainbow Six Siege videos and then just call it quits. Like, obviously the next video, or not the next video, but we will be doing the attacker gadgets video as well in the future. And it's not, and then that will probably end up being it. Like, I might make 1 or 2 other Rainbow Six Siege videos at some point in the future as well, but that's it. Like, I'm not going to make a whole channel dedicated to Rainbow Six Siege when I already have a first-person shooter channel. So I hope you guys understand. I hope it was okay. And also, I really hope that the people that are watching this that do play Rainbow Six Siege and do actually know defenders, try and look at it with an open mind and don't just like look at it with a biased opinion. There are people that, I have a friend who is a silver player and his most played operator is Glass by double the rounds. His most played attacking operator is Glass by double the rounds. And he, obviously, most of us know that Glass's gadget is horrible. It's useless. It's a thermal scope. Like, who cares? But he swears by him. So obviously try and look at it with your unbiased opinion. It's hard to do that, I know, but I've been playing this game for 9 years, man. Obviously I don't know as much as what I'm talking about as like Jinxie and stuff like that, but I think I did pretty well. And I know the Warden boys, the SMG 12 boys, I know for sure the Zim boys are going to get mad because I called them 135 pounds 5'7" soaking wet dorks. But like I said, man, just try and look at it without rose-tinted glasses or without your personal bias, and just look at the gadgets. I know it's hard to do that. Trust me, it was hard for me too, to just look at the gadget. There were times where I was like, okay, like Warden, dude. Warden at first I had probably in like the top 15, I want to say, maybe at like 13th, and then I actually thought about it and was like, what am I doing? Warden's gadget sucks. His ability is horrible. It's just that he has a C4, the best shotgun in the game, and an SMG 12. That's why people play him. And so I put him at where I think he actually belongs based on his gadget alone. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm yapping now. Das Vidania, and have a nice night.